What's going on, YouTube world? This is the Shred Academy, and welcome back to another episode of What the F Happened, the only crash reel on the internet that not only shows you awesome crashes, but shows you why they happen so you don't make the same mistake. So let's get to watching some people crash and finding out why.
Hey, that's when they bought the back.
All right, this guy's crash is epic. Great rollout. Let's find out what happened to him. All right, so as he comes to the drop here, let's watch the front wheel. It looks like the front wheel drops and then he tries to shove. So the shove idea would be great, you know, create that forward momentum and then just kind of let the bike drop off the lip, because it looks like, you know, kind of a little bit of intense landing. You don't want to create a whole lot of pop, so the push would have been perfect, but he just mistimes it. Bike falls, and then he pushes. But then he saves it really well, but then it's this lack of body bike movement, right? Boom, there. And he stiff arms it while he should have absorbed with his arms to try to keep his head and body or upper body a little more stable through this compression. Notice how his fork is completely bottomed out. He did a good job of creating some body bike movement here. Watch, absorbs and then pushes away. That was good. But then I guess fear took over. Full rigid mode right here. And that completely jerks him off being able to control the bike. So when you go through these, you know, harsh compressions, you're almost out of control. Remember, stay loose, let the bike move, stay in control, try to keep your upper body and head still. Now, what could he have done with the drop itself? That, just having a little better timing with, pushing earlier. He could practice at home by putting a little bit of a stick on the ground and then practicing timing by pushing through the stick. He's going to get a sense of rear tire awareness there. But lucky is okay. Like you heard him say, he's pumped that he rented that back protector. And this is an Eastern States Cup rider. I got my start in racing in the Eastern States Cup. You can see it right there. So shout out to this guy, whoever it is. I just pulled your clip off the Easternet. If you know who this is, let him know that he made my breakdown. Awesome. So just more body bike separation. Let the bike dance. Don't be so rigid. Right. Bah! All right, on to the next fall. All right, this guy, dead sailor, kind of getting bucked over the bars. Let's find out what happened to him. I kind of have an idea, but let's find out. He greases this step down here. All right, there it is. Notice how his body kind of gets sucked into the lip here. That's basically is compressing the suspension, like preloading it, but because of this forward body position already getting sucked into it, he has no control over the release of that rear shock. So as he starts to go in the air, that rear shock is just going to kind of start to send him on this uncontrollable arc across. And we can kind of see that happen. Notice how his weight's back. He's trying to control that buck, but right there, uncontrollable arc. You can see how he's trying to get his body weight back to stop the momentum or rotation. And he does an awesome job of getting his feet off. Superman chest plant landing. Full scorpion right here. Awesome. On his Da Vinci Wilson. I mean, watch right there. I mean, the impact of his tire. It totally, like, implodes his tire. Boom, he hits it. He does, I think he ends up on his knees right here on the ground. You can see him right. Oh, you almost got a sneak peek right there. He seems to be on his knees, kind of got his arms there. Hopefully this rider was okay, but just accept the lip, go through the motions. Don't get sucked into the transition. That's what's going to get you OTB every time. Accept transition. On to the next clip. All right, this one I love. He's using that unweight up and down fully, cases the jump here, and then goes OTB. Let's find out why. Now, if we look at this first landing here, notice how he's kind of landing all at once. He can't really rotate the bike to set the front wheel down and then gently set his body weight into that rear suspension. It's very abrupt. Boom. All right. And now he pedaled into this one. Thank you, cameraman, for moving the angle. Now, watch his knees kind of go forward into the bike there. That's him not accepting the lip all the way. Boom. All right. Right behind this tree, he does a little body weight preload, but it's the unweighting that is definitely causing him all the issues. Now, when I say that, he's basically preloaded down, and now he's going to unweight straight up and almost somewhat forward. Right there. Watch that those toes start to point right there. And you can see the bike go from being compressed to uncompressed. Fully uncompressed, and this rear wheel hasn't even left yet. So he's unweighted this bike completely right here. Okay, so he's got a full extra bike length that he's got to travel up the ramp before he leaves the ramp and then complete the gap. And that's exactly what he's missing here, is basically a bike length. And you can almost see him go dead sailor. I have no bike control because I unweighted all at once. And then less than a bike length. So using the J-hop form instead, creating shock preload, which is fine, but instead of going straight up, you're going to move your hips back, create a front wheel lift as the front wheel goes off, continue counterweighting as that front wheel starts the arc, and then you're going to explode off of the rear wheel right here. The shock will not release its energy until this point, of which you'll be controlling how fast it's going up by your body position as well. Go learn that J-hop. Go check it out in another one of my videos. Don't be this guy. Come up short. Blah. Good man on the camera guy staying put though, right? We get almost the full thing. I cut the clip loose. Looks like a fun trail. See that jump right there? Looks sick. On to the next and last.
Whoa! He's off.
All right, this comes from Latchlin. One of my subscribers sent this in. Whoa! Oh man, he's off. Yep, he sure is. You can do the same thing. If you want to send me a video, find out why you crashed, let me know. All right, so he coming in here. You kind of lose him. He blends into the grass. Yeah, unweighting straight up as well, right? He unweights forward, and then he gets this just kicked by that rear wheel. He's, you can't be forward of that rear wheel as it's leaving the lip because you're going to get bucked. You got to make sure that you're exploding off of that rear wheel, not both wheels at the same time. But luckily, he does kind of save it here. Now, notice he's also on a rigid. You're not going to feel the kick as much on a rigid bike as you are with a full suspension, but you still get kicked with them. Now, as he goes forward, let's get him back in frame. He's starting to wander, right? And then he loses it right here. Now, just relax, bud. Set your weight back here. Dig your heels into the ground. Put that rear brake on and modulate the front brake so that you still get good stopping power, but you're not losing traction. Getting your weight over the rear wheel will help put traction on the rear wheel, and you won't feel like you're just skidding needlessly. Now, you kind of do save it, bud. It was a pretty good... Right here, you're like, oh, I got to get off my bike. Now, you're not going to hear it in this video, but he does complain that he hit his hand on this rock right there. So I hope you're okay, bud. Just keep practicing. Make sure you're trying to learn that J-hop. You want to weight that rear tire as you go off. Just shift your weight a little bit farther into the back. I think you'll have it, not a whole lot, just a little bit. And then if you ever get bucked kind of wobbly like that, just stay in control. Don't start to steer with that front tire. Keep it going straight. Get your body over that rear tire and lock up that rear brake and modulate the front brake. Thank you for sending in your clip, bud.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed these crashes. I hope you learned something so you know what not to do so you don't end up one of those guys. If you have a clip that you'd like to send us, make sure that you email it over to us. The link is in the description. If we don't see you till next time, make sure you try to keep that rubber side down. If you'd like to support the channel, we've got a few ways. You can become a Patreon. The link is in the description. 37 cents a day can make a huge difference in this small content creator's life. You can also leave a tip through my PayPal account, friends and family now. As well, you can buy some merch. We've got merch. Check it out. Buy some for Christmas. If I don't see you till next time, guys, take it easy.